With area public schools opening soon, PACTV Community News visited with an author from Duxbury who has written a book for parents of school-aged children. The author spoke during a recent Book Breeze presentation, a program sponsored by the Duxbury Free Library and West Wind's Bookstore. Here's more.
Here it is. Just listen to this. This is a review in Parent Magazine. This is the first sentence. Every so often, I run across this book. So good, it belongs on every family's shelf. That's our email.
There's no wonder everyone is coming. It's kind of a yucky night out there, so I know it takes some extra effort. There's a few people here that I want to thank because I could never have written this book.
So my venture into becoming an author started, about 12 years ago when my oldest was heading to kindergarten. And I remember walking out of the kindergarten orientation and feeling like, wow, she's going to this big school, this big brick building, and I know nothing about it. You know, we had a little eye test and a near test, and now I'm just supposed to turn my kids over to who knows what. And so I went to the bookstore, I went to the library, and I went on the internet to look for a book about schools and education. You know, what would I expect? What could I expect? How do I talk to teachers? What is my role? And I found nothing. And I remember thinking, as a former marketing person, boy, there's a gap here. There seems like there would be a market here, because here I've had all these books from the time my kids, were infants and I was even pregnant, what to expect. And now my nightstand's empty. I have nothing to really guide me through all these elementary years and what to do and what not to do. And I saw a great need for more parent education, so I started with a few other parents, I started a nonprofit called the Parent Connection out of Duxbury. We're served now thousands of families on the South Shore, and we basically put on different programs and workshops every year, 5 or 6 a year, from different educators and psychologists, child psychologists. And that was a great way for me to really learn more about education, child psychology, child development. And it was soon after that, that was about 7 years ago, and about 5 years ago, a couple years after that started, I was helping a parent write an email actually to a teacher. She was frustrated about something with her child. And the parent later on said to me, "You helped me a lot. Have you ever thought about writing a book on schools? You know a lot about education in schools." And the light bulb went off. I just thought, wow, maybe I could write that book I never found. So I started looking into it a little bit, found out what it takes to write a nonfiction book. And one thing led to another. I started a blog and started putting a book proposal together, which is what you have to do when you write a nonfiction book. And one thing led to another. And I had a lot of help along the way. In particular, one parent who helped me became kind of a partner. And her name was Jamie Terrian. I called Jamie my brakes, and always there to pick me up. When I just thought I can't write another chapter, I can't write another page, Jamie was there to pick me up, or on the other hand, to slow me down. So that was terrific to have her support. Took a lot of years, a lot of hard work, lots of walls to climb, but eventually I put together the best proposal I thought I could, and I wrote a query letter to query agents, and I revised it 47 times before it actually went out to a lot of revisions until I knew I had it. And I sent it out, and within about 3 days I had 5 of the 7 agents that I initially queried emailed me back and said they were interested. So then it just went from there. I had an editor in a couple months and signed a contract with 10 Speed Press and Random House about a month later. I have been so lucky. I've had so much support from teachers across the board. I had 3 teacher readers who read every single chapter for me, made comments, read again. I've had enormous support from West Wind's Bookshop in Duxbury, Brooke McDonough and the other owners, and the Duxbury Free Library, Carol Jankowski, who has been supporting this book for years, just as Brooke has. So that has been amazing. All the parents that have been really helpful along the way, and my own family as well.
Great exhibit.